I'll send you that as a private
Oh.
recording.
Thank you so much.
Yep. So, and I'll trim off the last little bit of the last one and stick it on the front of this one, so it's all self-contained. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. So now we told it where we wanted to start. And it wants to know the direction up or down. Let me see if I get this right.
Down. It's going to be down.
We're going from what, that
From 290 here. So here will be 290 and then going down 265.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure that that's what this is asking. Let's just try a couple things and see what happens. So we'll say down. All right. So yeah. Okay. So we're going down. Now it wants to know the direction of the 3D polyline when you're facing down the slope. So if I'm standing on the ground, I'm looking down the slope. Which way am I going to go, to the left or to the right? And I think that's to the left.
I think it's the right.
Yeah. So sometimes when you do this, you got to do it.
Is this the surf PL command?
Is this a what?
The surf PL, surface PL, surf PL command.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, I've used surface PL.
Okay, yeah. So that 4%, it's more steep than the surface at the original point. Say no. Let me try this again because it's basically flat right in there. Let me try it right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go down to the left. 4%. No. All right. So maybe we should have said to the right.
To the right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the reverse. From my experience, it's always going the reverse.
Yeah. So surf PL. And we'll try that one more time. Is that the file?
Yep, yeah, that's it. Yep.
All right. So we'll pick the origin. We'll pick that same spot there. We're going to go down. We're going to this time go to the right by percent and 4%. And now we say no. Now we still may not have. Okay, so there it is.
Yeah.
So here's, let me just, I'm going to just get rid of that one. There we go. I'm looking for your tool. All right. So with this one, that's the path it would, and of course you see it wraps itself around. So it really, it didn't get, that's actually trying to go down into the pit. So we needed it to, maybe we need to start. See, instead of here, because it was going down there, it's going to be too steep. So it only finds that 4% line there. So that's not a good solution. Let's try. Let's uncheck that and say that. And now I'm going to start here. I'm going to go down to the right, 5%, 4%. Well, let's maybe make it a little steeper, 6, and say no. And so that's still crap. All right, so if I take that 4% down, I'm actually down inside here. I don't want to go 4% down to here. So if I take this line and if I break this thing, say right here. And now let's try that again. Length limit, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Let's just try this. And did I say 6%? I forgot if I did. Down. Let's go,
Yeah, it was 6% I used.
yeah. Okay, so I went, and the origin is right there. It's going down. The direction of facing down the slope.
It's down.
Yeah, but it's what I'm trying to do is to keep it from crossing over that lip. Enter line slope 6%. Yeah, see, it's still,
It's still crossing.
yeah, it still gets into there. So what? Oh, well, let's see. Yeah, no matter, I have to be outside of, you know, see, I have to stay outside of this.
Yeah, to be able to get there. So can I show you what I designed just so that
Yeah, yeah.
maybe it would point some light as to what I was trying to do.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me just select those two and get rid of them. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it was just supposed to tie from here and then tie somewhere here because I'm just trying to get a shorter route. However, it's just going to be a filling ramp. So let's see. Okay.
Yeah, because you've got, or I mean, I can see there's a road bed there already.
Yeah. So this is what I have, which from my class today, I mean, I just feel like maybe I could have done this better.
Yeah, so again, where it's, I mean, if I look at it, you see these, you know, where my cursor is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a road now, right?
Yes.
All right. So what is it you're trying to? You're not going to be able to use that, or it's too long, or what?
Yeah, it's too long. So I'm just trying to tie in from here, this 290 here, and then what's going to happen as later on, we're just going to grade in some ramps that will tie in here at some point.
So you're going to basically wrap the 290 around the pit wall.
Yeah.
And then
265 from, yeah, this 290. So this ramp is going to end here, right? And then as I'm coming down, I'm just going to create another ramp that would just mine all of this and tie into this.
All right. So
like as we go down, I'll be able to tie into this. That's the idea.
Okay, so let me take a look at a couple of things here. First of all, is that our surface?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what was happening is I was getting from up in here to trying to go down. Now I need to go over to here.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to stay outside of that. So I can't really use that slope or surf PL. because it still pops me over that edge and starts trying to find that way down. And then it just starts wrapping around the inside of the pit. Do that one more time. Turn that back on. Oh, okay, it's I was afraid I had left that off. All right. See these, so if I'm at, say, 225, okay, so I'm at 290-ish, and I just sort of walk that gap that's going to walk me here. So I'm going to need to start somewhere here, drop down, and then walk that contour, which I'm relatively flat. And then do I climb back out of it here? I can't tell what my elevation is. Yeah. So at that point, I've got to climb back out. So if I'm going down to 265 up here, I'm still high. I'm like at 325, 330, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 325, there's 330. So where is it I'm trying to? So I've started up here at 290.
Yep.
And I need to get down to 260.
265, yeah.
5 inside the face or out here?
Yeah, it could be inside the face, you know, because it's going to be more of like a cut and fill. On this wall, the parts that interact with the wall prominently would be a cut, and the rest of it would just be fill. That's here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I realize, I realize if you're gonna be coming down that wall, you're gonna cut that out, put a rope in it, but
yeah. The way I was able to do it was just I created like a plane that intersected the wall, like from here to here. I just created a line just from 265, 365, did a multiple offset of that line. But it was just the same slope. And I just intersected this one versus that one. I got that line, which I was using as my profile from there. So this line became my profile, right? So you see, gave me the very 4%. So yes, 265. Yeah, 290. So that gave me that, and I was able to just do an offset, but I didn't clean it up like yours was, you know.
all right. Well, let's take a look at this. If that is the line, I mean, that line gave us. See, if I look at that let's take a quick peek at that. Let's look at by a 3D poly, and let's just find that line right there. Okay. So there you go, and it's basically 3.8%, and there's a little spots in there. You see there's a 5.4, and then it's back to a 4.3. So it's, it's sort of, and then you got that little bitty chinky chink right in there. So, you would straighten things like that out.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to get you from, there's like 290. 295. And you see it's like a 265. Okay, so that works elevation wise. It is pretty consistent, you know, pretty much a linear change. Okay.
Yeah.
So that will get you down to there. Now, is that where you want to stop it? Would that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because yeah, that's fine.
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna create a center line for that alignment.
Yeah.
We're gonna straighten it out and turn it into a highway type of a road.
Yeah.
With proper curves and such.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna draw a 2D polyline and I'm gonna put it on this layer. Did I go ahead and try that on C dash road CL? There we go. And I'm gonna start right in here. And I'm gonna go up to this corner right here, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
All right, so I'm done with that. Now, I'm going to, let's see, what is my current? All right, so this is a 2D polyline. And to put some curves in there, I'm going to come down here and add a vertex, and let's put one, say right here. And we'll put one right here-ish. And then one right here. And you could even, you know, turn it into an arc if you wish. Let's just leave it for now as what this is, where this is. So there to there, I just want to generally follow the shape of this. And I may need to add one more right in here. Okay. So now I've got, oh, I went the wrong, sorry. I need to put this on the other side. Need to go from here to here.
Yep.
There we go. And we'll add one more right in there. Okay, so if I have that, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of tangent. So let's do this now. I'm going to, just to get some breathing room here, wise, is, which one is the one we just drew?
That one.
Yeah. Okay, so there's that, and I'm going to turn that into a alignment. Now, which way do you want your stationing to run? From here down to there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will make sure it is going in the right direction by looking at it here.
Okay.
Now it is. Okay. So I'll go to my center line and we'll do a design center line, and we'll just call this, is this a Hall Road?
Yes.
Except they're gonna spell Hall correctly. File of the, oh, what am I doing? I don't want a coordinate file. I must have missed something here. So that polyline to centerline file, centerline file to right, Hall Road. Okay, there we go. Select the polyline here. And there we go, there. And now let's put in some curves.
Yep.
So there's a couple of things you've got here. You could just go down here and say fit curve, and if you know what it was and figure it out, or you could, and so I say fit curve. Do we know anything about this? How fast are you allowed to drive out there? Not very, right? Like 20.
25, yeah, 25 would be the max, yeah.
All right. So let's say 25, and we're not really having any super elevation, so I'll keep that to the lowest one there. So we'll say 25. See, now
So
that
how were you able to get to this, like the speed?
when I'm ready to fit a curve,
Yeah,
I went to here and I said fit curve.
yep, okay,
The bottom is this horizontal speed tables.
okay.
So when I choose that, I can choose a design speed. And if you super elevated your roads by 4% on your curves, you could have a radius of only 42 feet. Or if you only bank your curves 1.5 degrees or percent rather, it would take almost 800 feet of a radius to be able to safely go around that curve as if it's a, American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials guidelines. All right, so that's not really applicable here. So, but I don't know what it is that I'm looking at size wise. Maybe we would even straighten this out a little more, maybe take it from here. Maybe even get rid of that one.
Yeah.
In fact, let's do that from there. I'm going to exit that and let's see if I remove that vertex and that vertex, then I think I still need, let me try this. All right, that's going to be a little better. I'm going to pull this guy back. Let me see your snap settings here a little bit. I'm going to turn off nearest tangent and perpendicular. Help me remember that. I turned those off, and I'm going to leave that extension. So when I hover here, why is it not? Where's my? There we go. Why is it still tracking by nearest? Let me set this first. Nearest is off. Extension is what I want. Okay. Now, there we go.
Yep.
So if I go from there, there, that's what I want. All right, so just 2 curves to have to put in there. All right, now let's make sure that that's what I thought. Okay.
Mhm.
You not. Sorry. Settings.
Yeah, so
You're linked. It didn't like what I did with that, so let's just rebuild it. Polyline to centerline file, all road. Yep, place it. Select here. Good to go. And now I can put a curve in there, and it's going to be a fairly huge one. Let's say a 500 footer. So it's just barely, let's see, let's make sure if I say hold the PIs, keep tangential. Let's make it 750. There we go. Now there, I'm going to put another curve in there. Now this one would be, I put in, I can't get that much. So let's make it 275. Well, let's make that 200. Better. Don't have much of a tangent there, but that's okay. That's all I need. So I'll save and exit. All right, so it's a nice smooth road. And so I'm going to now show hide. I'll turn it back on. Do we need this stuff anymore?
which stuff? Yeah, I probably just leave it there for now.
All right, what layer is it on? Okay, let me freeze that. Okay. So now what I want to do is I take a look at that and, oh, that's not. I think I got a little ahead of myself here. I need to have that back. Line, I'm going to take the curves out. And it's got something. All right, let me set this up a little. I really just sort of want to keep it to that line. So that's sort of really, so walking around there. And then that's going to go. We'll remove that one. All right, this is better now. All right, so from there, there. All right, let's try that one. Center line, polyline to center line file. All road. Select that, yep. And we're going to edit, we're going to add a curve, fit a curve. It's going to be too tight. Let's see. Be a little better. Now if I fit a curve, call it 150. Got a 125. All right, then from here, we're gonna fit another curve. Let's see what happens with that. A little bitty piece of tangents, okay. Put another curve of say 125. Let's just try these and see what happens. There, fit a curve of say 75. I can tell right now it's going to be tight. The curve at this time can maybe sustain a 200. And then finally, as our last one, we'll fit a 75 foot. All right, and we'll save and exit, and we'll see what that might look like. Let's give it some a little bit of line weight so I can see it. I'm sorry, it's getting late.
Okay, no, that's fine.
No, I mean, it's just because of my eyes situation. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that to take your time.
no, this is absolutely fine. So now I've got this alignment that looks like it may do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I want to look at that, how it lies on the existing ground, because I used that where it was. Now, if you're like, do you know about what the slope is down this face?
Wonderful. 1.41.
Oh, pretty steep. Okay, so
Yeah, it's pretty steep.
so if I were to say, if I called this green line a center line, and then and I built that, and I went back into the bank, and I came back out of the bank, then I to take that edge out here and to tie it back down into that slope, it's going to be even steeper then. So what we typically have to do in West Virginia and Pennsylvania on these type of sites is the roads have to be totally in cut. They can't be,
Yep, yeah,
they can't be in fill at all. So,
that's true.
so, you know, that line is gonna be exactly on the ground. And so it's gonna go back into the hillside here, and then the cut to come up to daylight on this backside is gonna be pretty steep, you know, steeper than that same slope.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
it won't be in fill, okay?
Yep, yep, that's fine.
So to do that, then this is going to be my outside edge of my road. Okay,
Yep.
then I'm gonna go back into the hillside with my road. So that being the case, how wide is that road?
45 feet.
45 feet. So
Yeah.
I'm going to offset this line half of that distance. So I'm just going to do the standard offset of 22.5
Yep.
feet, and there it is. And I'll say exit. All right. Oh crap! I keep forgetting AutoCAD does it slightly differently. I have to confirm it. There we go. Now, so that's actually going to be my center line. All right, and we'll then when it, and now that's going to be the outside edge of that 45-foot area. Okay, so then we'll go from there. Now, let's say center line again, polyline to center line file. And we're going to call this one Hall Road. Just call it Hall Road.
Yep.
And we'll choose this. And now we don't have those nice even curves. We've got, you know, 176.27 and 283 because we did an offset. So I'm gonna straighten up or tighten up some of these. What's going on? At the top. Oh, sorry, that's not the. That wasn't the radius, so that was a 150 is now 147. So let's just make that a 125. And this curve, 102.5, we'll make that one a 100. And now there's no reason that you have to do this way. You could have left those as they were.
Yeah.
But it's it's that old anal retentive engineer in me that wants to make sure I've got, you know, nominal value. Yeah. Oh, and I realize, you know, people used to have to stop and tell me, so you know what, we're designing a road to get an articulated wiggle truck, you know, out there, that's hauling some kind of major ore. And,
Yeah.
you know, half of those guys have rolled their trucks 10 or 12 times, so nobody really cares. Yeah, so yes, I'm aware that I'm this way, but let's see, now that last little curve will make it 90 feet. Now we got that, we'll save and exit. And now this one I can toss. All right, so I've got, that is my center line. I've got it lined up along my site that looks like how I want it to fit. And let's see what we can do with that. So let's go to the roads menu. Or let's see, before we do that, let's take a look at the profiles.
Profile, yeah.
And let's design the road profile with the road profile editor. Now, The road profile file, we're gonna call this the Hall Road 2, just to keep it consistent.
Okay.
And, excuse me, so now the centerline file is also that Hall Road 2.
Yep.
The existing ground was, you have to find it for me again. I've navigated away.
Okay. Okay. Let me get it for you.
Oh, wait, it's looking for a tin file. Okay,
So can we create, is it possible just to create a tin file just
sure. Yeah,
from
it
the
is. Yeah.
grid file?
Yep, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I'll cancel that, and let's go to, let's exit that. No. Let's go to our surface, see where we can do it from. There, I think we have to do that from. Here, let me see if I can do it from that. Load a grid file.
Yep.
All right, so now is that it?
Yes, that's it.
All right. So that's gonna load the grid file. There we go.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go next. Actually, we don't need anywhere near, we don't need all of this stuff out here. But we'll leave it just to see. And we're going to just do a save as. This time it'll be a 10 and we'll call it all road. Not the all road surface. Let's just call it all road design.
Okay.
All right. And even though it's not, I should add a little more creative name, but anyway, so I'll look at that and I'll take a peek at that. Make sure it's not too huge for us. It looks like it responds fairly quickly, so that's all right.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so that's now it's coarse, but again, we're designing a all road. So now back to our design road profile. A road profile file. All road 2. The center line, all road 2. The surface file, all road design. So that's what the ground looks like. In along that alignment. So we're going through, yeah, see right in there?
Yeah.
We're way out in the air. Now that's what, like 13 feet. You have to fill 13 feet in there. That would be a problem. So we need to probably right in there. Well, it finds it correctly. We just went, we can't go that far out. We gotta make sure that everything that we do stays. Let me try it. Another one here. And we'll start here. And I'm going to there. All right, start fitting some things in here. I'm gonna add a vertex. You don't want to get too far out into the air, but if I wrap here, then I've got to really pull back hard.
Yeah.
With that other curve, and I've climbed up the hillside too far. So if I sort of compromise here. Always staying on the uphill side of that green line. Oops, no, I've got to come around this way. That's what I'm trying to do. So somewhere in here. Yeah, see, it's a shame that we've got that. If I go right into that high part of this, I can fit a curve in there.
Yeah.
And then in here, we're going to have a little bit more of a cut. I don't want to be too much. Gee, it's like 15, almost 20 feet. All right. Yeah, these are just out there. That's going to be filling. All right, let's see. Go from there, from that elevation to that elevation. What, 5 feet? Drop. Try something here. I call this one over 3. And now I'm going to go straight to that profile. Without putting any curves in there, I just want to see what that looks like. All right, so right there's my low spot, and that's where I had to come back up inside that little draw.
Okay.
All right, so, but I still have this out here where I'm out in the air. That would, I would have to fill it in, have to fill in there.
Yeah, and that's not a problem, you know, because I mean, we have a lot of material that can fill that hole.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
then.
fill is not a problem. Like we're even looking for where to put material anyways, even if
Yeah,
it's 40
well, no,
feet.
I just meant safety wise. I didn't want to be out there in the air filling down that slope. It's not a matter of material needs, but it's, so if I'm in here, I
Yeah.
would do some fill in there and I can make the slope a little gentler. Here's another case in here where you see we're gonna need to fill if we stay along that edge. That's
Mhm.
really, right there. Now we're not, and you see that depth is like, you see these this green line of text up here at the top.
Yep.
And I see that's something
9
like,
feet.
9 feet. 9 feet over the wall of that pit right there if I tried to do that. So, I could come back a little further. Exit all of that and then save. I mean, technically, sorry, let me do. What's that? 250, 75, 80, 85, 90. 300. Where's the 265 come into play?
I'm sorry.
The 265, 250, 55, 60, 65. So is that?
Yeah, if you click on it, it should be able to. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know it is. I just wondered, is that where is that
Yeah.
our target?
Yes.
So if we have 265 back here and we push out toward this one, then that means this is gonna be quite a
Cutting
bit of cut.
good. Yeah.
Hmm. Let me try something here. If we copy a portion of that, there's 250 to 75. And I'm really 265 is where I'm targeting. Let me just try this. If I'm going to start here. And it's going to go to here. And layer name was C-road-CL. Oops, select on the last. Where is it? See now. Um, uh, so that could be. See, you don't want a road center line that has all of these click, 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 clicks is the problem.
Okay.
You know, that what I did there is I just copied that contour line.
Mhm.
I copied it, a part of it and put it on my center line layer. So that would keep me from, say, getting these areas real wackadoodle.
Oh, I see what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's not what because that just keeps me at a constant elevation. I don't want to be at a constant elevation. It might be for a little ways, but then I've got to get to 290.
Mhm.
To 290 down to 265. Run the contour. So how quickly can I get to 265 if I did? Let's see. All right, let me get rid of that thought. Let's go back to this idea. And I see that's got a slope of like 0.306, so it's not very much at all. So here we go. Let's see here. If I add what happened? Oh, I see what happened. The wrong icon. All right, so let's make that 0. All right, so now let's add. If I added this and put a vertical curve in of 150 feet. All right, so it comes down a little bit there, and now I'm going to add let's see what we can do with it right here. And make that a 350 feet. Whoops, thanks.
So he's
Three.
just giving you a suggested curve. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, it figured out. So now if I do it like that, and then if I get right in here, you see, I'm out in the air. So if I put a curve in here. I need to change this one. Let's make it. All right, so that's a 10% slope there. So if I take this, now I'm coming down at a 2%, up at an 8.2, down at a 6.4, and then up at a 6.7. Excuse me. So this one, let's say, could be at least 100 feet. There we go. And I want to edit. All right. All right, so that makes that just at 8%. That at 5%, I could live with that, but this 8% is right in there. You see the tracker on the end view side?
Yeah, 17 feet.
Yeah, right in here.
Cut, right.
Yeah.
17 feet of cut, right?
Right, but that's along the center, so it's gonna need to be, so that's where is it? It's using a different. The center line's different. What happened? Hall Road 3, that's right. That's Hall Road 2. So this is the one that I really need to not use. Let me draw the other one. Okay. That's the one I didn't have any curves in yet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take this guy back to here. Okay, now Almost a reverse curve up there, not quite, but let's see, let's fit a curve of 150. Yeah, so 50. Okay, so makes it now. Let's see. I didn't change. I did.
I thought we had already done the profile. We had already
Yeah,
edited.
we did, excuse me, but when I changed the center line,
Mhm.
I used the old profile file, but now it needs to walk along a different center line, so it didn't match up on station values.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be easier to just redo it. All right, so right in here, I'm at 12.5%. That's a bit much. All right, we'll get fixed here in a minute. All right, that puts me at 9.5, 6 3/4. So let's bring this up a little in here. And that's 8. Keep that limited to 8. What happens if we don't get too high off the ground? All right, 6.8, 6.5. Let's call that a day and say save and exit. And now let's just take a look at what it might be. Let's go to roads, which is process or road design. Center line, Haul Road 3. Profile, Haul Road 3. Design templates, I'll call it, guess what, Haul Road 3. And we need to edit that template.
Yep.
And do you have a particular like cross
Yeah,
section?
like ramp, it would have like on the outside edge, you would have a 3 feet
ramp, 3-to-1.
Yeah, the cut and fill slopes, okay.
Yeah,
But we're gonna, let's see, the first thing we're gonna do, we'll start the center. And we'll put a little 2% crown slope. And we'll go, is it 45 feet? Is that before you get to that
no,
3 feet? That's inclusive of, right? So how wide is it from the center line to where that edge starts?
I would say 40 feet.
So 20, if I'm doing a 2-laner.
Yeah,
We'll just call that edge of pavement. So now it's 40 feet from here to here. All right, now.
okay,
The next thing then, before we do a cut and fill, so now I've got 40 feet. Do I have a little like a shoulder? Or do you have berms or what?
yeah, berms, yeah. The berms would be, I think 3 feet high, and so the base would be about, so 3-to-1 for the berm. That would
Alright.
be there.
So are the berms always there or just only on one side, only on the,
On one side, the side facing the pit.
all right, so I'm gonna turn this right side, same as left, off
Okay,
and let's see, what can I do with this? Copy left to right, so now there's that one, so 20 feet. So now this one's where the berm is going to be,
yes,
because that's my fall away slope. All right, so if I add that as a ratio, you say it's a 3-to-1?
yeah.
So 3-to-1, and how far, how high is it?
I would say 3 feet as well.
So if it's 3 feet tall and it's 3-to-1, so that's 9 feet
9
away.
feet, 9 feet, yeah.
And so we're gonna call that BRM1. Okay,
Yeah.
how high across the top?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Is it a, does it have a flat?
No, it does not. It just slopes down according to
Goes from there and goes down, so it would
yeah, maybe one to
be like,
1.4-to-1, what the slope, existing slope is. Yep,
it would look like that.
that's correct. Yep.
Okay. So I think what we can do. Remove that. (1.4-to-1). Use a berm. Three to one, 9 feet. Berm. All right, so that would look like that. So anytime that would be, that's part of the actual fill specification.
Yep.
All right, so what about on the cut side?
1 point, you can do a 1.2 to 1.2-to-1.
A 1.2-to-1, and does it have a ditch or anything?
No ditch, nothing.
Okay, so it would just look like that.
That's correct.
Okay. What about the subgrade materials, or don't worry about that? You're just grading the ground.
Yeah, just flat. Yeah,
All right,
it's
so save that.
Yep.
Zip that. All right, say okay. Let's go ahead and do all all road.
I think it was 3 that we gave it.
Yeah, but this is just the. Boy, I keep screwing that up. All AUL road. EX, there we go. All road dash EX, save, all right, that's okay now. All right, let's go. Stations every 50 feet should be fine. Existing sections, this I may need to really move out bigger to catch it all, we'll see. Anyway, contour, if I say set. We'll go to contours yet, write the file. I'm gonna call this all road. Surface. Fills. That up with this. Range roads, okay, I'll put top grade, setting the layers. I use those suffixes or break lines and. All right, let's see what happens. And so there's, oh,
Oh, wow.
so why reset? I want those. I want to process my road design. There's my files, there's my outputs. Edits the sections, full range. Click lines. Triangulating contour of the image previous. There's something else that's told it somewhere to draw. Oh, right there. Draw cross section polygon. I don't need those. It's these subgrade polylines that you would want to see. No, wait a minute. Let's see, not those. The templates. Cross section. No, still, I don't need those. I need to. See, all of these lines get created. Regardless. There it is. Okay. So that would look like. See if I can tell much from it here. I don't see it. I would have a little bit sticking out there
Yeah.
in that spot. All right, so let's take a look at this surface wise. I can't really tell much from that. If I viewed the surface file, all road surface. I mean, that's that part. Okay, so it's Look at there, it's going to. Oh, no, I see. Think, where's the tie? Where does it tie down? Road. And it's designed, just take a strata. So puts left. Center line. Triangulate and contour. Why does it not? Allow this. See how this is grayed out over here?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's something, that's why that surface looked like it did. It didn't, it never tied down to the existing ground. I don't see where that setting is. If I contour, again, draw, no draw. Nope, right? A triangulation file. Yes, set colors, that's all fine. That sets that. Say, where is that? Erase previous roads. All right, so if I said use grade name for suffix, the tie, the subgrade, the cross-section disturbed area, and it's a cross-section set level by center line. Okay, that's all well and good. None of that. Did I screw something up with the template? No, because there's that, there's the berm, there's the fill, there's the cut. That should be just fine. See, all it managed to put in was that thing over here and up to here to a certain distance,
yeah,
which doesn't make any sense, right? It's the same as the left. Okay, smooth. Right? Up to rock. 1.2 to 1. Okay. On the bill side, 1.4 to 1. With the berm. Okay. Where on earth is right there's that, but why did I have to exit that? Design profile, I edit. Um, all right. There's that, design sections. There's something,
Would it be in the profile where we created the profile itself and we linked it to the surface?
you know. There's something when this calculates that is not, it's almost like it doesn't find the existing ground. Process road design, all road 3 center line. Edit, there it is. Exit. Edit. There that is with the wrong editor, but that's okay. That's an old command. And there's the template series. That's all well and good. That's all we need. Design section. Existing section. Okay, now once you do that, this comes up and we're going to use the full range of the road. Raise, triangulate and contour. If I set, maybe I've screwed something up in here. Triangulate, write the triangulation file. There's the surface. So there's the surface. I'm not drawing the contours, therefore labels are gray. There's I don't even see where it asks me. I just say, okay, then it's just going to go off and do this thing. Where does it ask me? How does it know? Where do I get to tell it what? Ah, you know, I told you, I'm getting tired. You see, I didn't give it an existing surface, so it didn't know what to tie to. So that existing surface,
The
go ahead and find it for me. I don't.
is the whole road this I think it was this
It's the existing ground. This is that one you've been using, the one we created out of the grid file. Oh,
the whole road design. That was it, right? That was, yeah.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, and the reason I kept missing it is because I kept looking at these three and said, well, that's all I need, because in RoadNet, not road design files, but road network, the existing surface is at the top.
Okay.
Oh, that's what happened. Now I go to that. Now you're going to see it. There's your numbers. All right. And oh, geez, oh, whizzo, man. That's really going to spill down into that. See, it doesn't even catch the ground until it's like that. Let's take a peek. Yeah, see, it just never catches.
Um,
But why? And so if we were to build that, it would look like that. And see, that's not terrible. Problem is, on the fill side, so I go out to that edge and I go down at that slope, and the only way I'm going to actually hit that slope is if I go down steeper than that slope is, so that the slope will eventually run into it, going off at a flatter slope.
Yeah, but if you go steeper right now, currently what we have, the design is actually underneath the slope. So if we make it more steeper, then we'll be saying that let's fill and looking at yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the only solution here is we got 2 points of solution. One is you take this road and you come up off that road surface to that little berm, and then we're going to go down in a fill situation. That is going to require that fill is steeper than that existing ground so that it intercepts it. Watch what happens and why I say that. Watch if I run that command again. And let's edit that template just real quick on the fill side. No, 1.4 to 1. All right, so let's just make it 1 to 1 for now, which I know I can't do. All right, I just want to show you how it is affected. So if I save that. Okay, so that's a little better. If I look at my so I'm really the only part I'm interested in seeing it. See how it comes up to here and then it goes down, and because it is steeper than that underlying existing ground, it hits it. If we come out and if we're in the air at all along that edge and we go down at the same slope or flatter, we're never going to hit that, or we're going to hit it like, way down over here. So that was one solution to it. The other solution is to, like I said, where everything is in cut, you don't have any fill.
Mhm.
We would have to scoot the center line back into
To the wall, right?
side. Yes, scoot it back into the wall some more. Or lower the elevation of it. In the position where it is now. In fact, let me take a look at those. So it starts at 297 and it ends at 299. It just doesn't make sense. $50, $75, $30. Oh yeah, there's the 300. So if we did this design road, so if we took all of these, all right, let's go 5 feet deeper than they are. So if I go 5 feet here at the front, this one has a negative 5 foot depth, which means it's in the air 5 feet. So I'm going to make that 0.5. So I took 5 away from that. Same thing I'm going to do with this one is 13 instead of 18. Now here I need to go do the subtraction. So 3.5904. Oh no, I'm sorry. I did. God, can't think straight. This is now 8. And this is now 5. All right, we'll see. Save, exit. Now I'll put that template back to existing surface. Yeah, I'll put this template bit back as 1.4, but we would never be in fill unless we get a little spot. Oh man, what is going on? Still. That's what I want. Didn't bring it in quite enough. Let's see if I can't. Let's take that in. If I do it as if I do an offset,
Yeah.
it's going to shorten the stationing, so I would then have to redo the profile. Let me. Let me see if I did this right now, the center line, the template ID for the profile is the center. But if I used EP, yeah, see, it doesn't tie, it doesn't catch till 354 feet away at this station. So it's still going to be a problem. So, all right, so let's just take. Yeah, we can't just keep doing it. Let's do this. Let's go. Back to 4. And now there. And I'm going to just use this different centerline file. We'll keep the profile and everything the same. All right, so if I edit, erase, make sure I get So. Now. Profile, so that. Oh, it's 3. Shoot, just had it. All road 3. But the reference center line needs to be Hall Road 4. That's all I need. All right, so now. Let's be okay. But Lord, we can't be 18 feet deep. Since road is the 4, we've got the center line. Let's go do this one over. Oops. Yeah, we can leave there without any problem. Let's edit that. Now the road editor comes up like it's supposed to. I don't get that, so all right. This is looking at the existing round, but I don't.
Oh, sorry to take your time, sir.
Oh, it's all right. I'm kind of bummed that I can't figure this out. See, there are 2 groups of engineers that I really can't use any 17%. I really have a lot of respect for, and that is mining engineers and landfill designers, which are basically mining engineers in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
On. All right. Nine, 7. 8.5 to 6. Okay, save. Exit. Now it's more hopeful. No, but it wasn't. Four, four, three, horror design.
Was the design surface.
Yeah, that's the existing.
It was design. The horror design, yeah.
Yeah. Now let's see. Still, I'm missing something. What's going on? It's horror 4. Okay, but not well and good. Yeah, okay, so that's that. Okay. Now, this is road design. Center line is 4. Profile is 4. It's 3 for the template, which doesn't matter. The existing surface is the design 10. Should work. Still. Full range of stations. Maybe that's we've improved it a little, but not enough.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, see, even way out here, it's still in fill. profile. Basically, I've got to do that. Doesn't make a darn bit of sense. See, anytime you see these where it says that the tie offset is exceeding whatever that value is, that
Yeah.
means it goes 351 feet before it hits the ground. So that's why, you know, there's still all that problem. And that is because I'll look at just the road by itself for a minute. I mean, what the heck is going on? What is that? You know what it is that it starts underneath that ground. And so
So maybe if the berm wasn't there, probably will not be having this issue, right?
no,
That berm.
no, it's not. Try this. If I do this, turn off my target surface. Say okay, and there it is. Now that's just the actual road envelope.
Yep.
There is the outside boundary of that road. And I'm put that say to the back. There's a 3D polyline. Now, if I choose that as a manual grading exercise, surface, okay, ratio, I'm not going to calculate. Side slopes, 25, 10, that should be fine. And take the pad polyline. It's going to design. Let's call it 1.4.
1.2, I guess.
Yeah, but it's gonna see, it's gonna do that. It's gonna go to adjust. Damn it, it almost got it.
Would we have given it like separate different slopes on different ends, since it has defined different parameters on the outside slope versus the inside as well? Like 1.2 on the inside and 1.4 on the outside for the fill?
See, what happens when it generates that cut and fill bank?
Yep.
It starts in here. See, here's this first one, starting from the center. Now the check box is on, so it's gonna just be the same. So it's gonna go out to this grade is going to be a 2% slope down from the crown, 20 feet out to a point that we're going to call EP. Okay, so that's this point right here, and also this point right here. This sets the elevation from the profile design. That's where we've set the elevation of that. But when we get out here 20 feet away, that existing wall that we're trying to walk along, it falls off so quickly that it doesn't catch. Here's just a thought.
Here, see what you mean.
Oops, not that, this. One of the things that let me go to my existing surface again and put that back. In this profile, remember one of the setups that I told you about was show the reference surface at left and right offset. So if I go to left offset and we go 20 feet away, let's just go 20 feet. I know that's where the berm is starting. So yeah, see, and you see our black line?
Yeah.
Well, 20 feet away, it's that blue line right here is what the actual edge of that slope is. So this red line that we see up here, that's what the ground is directly underneath our center line.
Yeah.
But 20 feet away, you see how far that's fallen off, because that's a darn close to vertical. Well, not vertical, it's darn close to, diagonal, exactly triangular. So until we get below that line, that green line, we're never going to catch those slopes. So if I pull this like this, just as an exercise, say I'm down below it there. And let's set this to wow. All right, so now if we were to, no, we're not going to be able to, because we're like 20 feet deep out there on the end. Now when it processes, you should see it. Yeah, see now it's behaving at least better. And it's not chasing that slope all the way down the hill.
Yeah.
See, there's just that one little spot where it tries to, and even that causes some problems, as you can see. Now, everything else you see is in cut.
Yeah.
And even if we did something like compare the two together, you know. And let's even do this. Did it, that, and utilities. Yeah, pick a bounding box. And let's load the design. Not at all what I wanted to do with that. Let's see. Take a look at something in there. I draw. There we go. Now, let's try that again. We should find utilities. Pick this bounding box. Load to 10 file. Just have to have that done first. So we'll grab that. Let it trim down the surface a little. It's not changing the file, it's just what it loads up in this viewer. All right, so that's fine. Go next, and let's add, or let's merge rather. Or the surface. And we'll just call it test. Let's see if we can't get any insights from that. I'm not sure that we will. Yeah, see, I can't really. Well, what is? I don't see. Oh. No. See that difference. Let's see. I load all road design. It's this bounding box. Go next. And I merge. The road surface. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Just can't seem to get to see it even. It's trying. If you look right in here,
Yeah.
it's getting. Back up a little bit. See, it's climbing out of that lowered condition and pushing the berm up, and then it's trying to chase that all the way down. And I think the thing is that we're actually below the original ground. So being there, well, it still should be shooting up in the air to catch this surface. I don't know. just don't. I will say. It's all because of the steepness of these walls. I mean, these are, to design a road, you know, on any kind of surface shouldn't be an issue. It's just the fact that it's so incredibly steep that we can't catch the side slopes. So there is a thing you probably don't have, or maybe you do. Let's see. Do you have the mining?
Yeah, I have the mining module, yeah.
All right. So I think this surface mining menu is the
The design ramp profile. Then
there was let me see what I'm looking for. It might be in his, it's not in the bench pit. Maybe. I wonder if it's in. I don't think it's in. It's in geology. This, I don't think it's this. I'm trying to remember. Where they hid that, because it used to be a nice little tool. Pretty sure it was on the surface mining. Something. There's a geotech menu and a geology. There we go, geology. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was here. And let's see. It's not that. Maybe it was. Design bench, but I don't think so. Let's see this a second. Check this out. Yeah, see, that's got those ramps that walk down the side walls.
Yeah,
And I'm sure you've run into that.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that before.
yeah. So that part, of course, this gets into the timing and everything else. That's not what I'm after. That's not even the right tool, but we're getting there. What I'm looking for was strictly to design the road. And you start at the top and it wound its way around down the inside face and it took care of all those transitions. And I don't recall where that tool is. It's not, those are push, cut in place, cut on, flatten. Small. Maybe ramp profile. I don't think that was it. That was on what? Surface design ramp profile. See, it's probably been eight years or more since I trained this stuff, so I don't necessarily remember, and they may have changed it so much it's now. Maybe this, okay. Command creates a profile as well as the center line for a ramp between two benches. Uses two surfaces for top and bottom. No, that's not it. Good Lord, where is it? Because it used to. Just wonder if maybe they've taken it out. No, I just don't remember. I'm going to say, Chimezie, that, let's see.
Yeah.
Surface timing, no, let's look at spoil. It's really not. Yeah, boy, I just. It's a real slick little tool, and there's another one too. There's all kind of little grading tools that are available, and I just don't see them in there anymore. Well,
Yeah. It's been quite a long day.
yeah, I just. It was so. Strip, no, but it was. wouldn't be in any of this. See, that's all you got is surface and spoil, and those are not them, obviously. I don't know that they've. Design a bench pit. We looked at this already. Lord, I haven't done this stuff in a long time, but that was for a different method, or a different purpose. This thing, and it had a little editor like this. It would show up and you would click a spot and it would wind its way down until it got to the bottom. And that is, you know, much like that grid history. I'm going to guess they maybe have combined that old tool into this command. I just don't remember. Anyway, back to what I started to say a minute ago is I'm going to suggest that, you know, this might be maybe a better problem if you could get in touch with Carlson's tech support.
Yep.
Because it is, you know, it's cost free. It's not going to help hurt you there, but Grant Winker in particular is going to know the answer to that. Now they've got some newer folks that might be okay. I don't know. But, you know, I used to watch Grant just pull magic out of the air with some of this stuff. And I'm sorry, I can't see. See where that is or how we go back. I mean, I know how to go about solving it from a civil standpoint is that we have to get those tie slopes steeper than the existing ground, but we can't.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean then that we I mean, if we put that outside edge of that outermost lane right on the ground, all right, that'd be fine. That'd be one thing, except it would, you know, it's got to twist in and out and turn all around, and it wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, and if the slope itself is steeper than the angle of repose, the material is not going to be, it's not going to stand, it's not going to hold.
That's right. Yeah. So that angle of repose is going to let go a bit. Well, it depends on what it is. But if you're at rock, you might be okay for a while. But boy, speaking of which, I used to work in a quarry in the summers when I was in college.
Yeah.
And I worked up in the crusher plant, and we would, you know, crush rocks to different gravel sizes and bag them up and all that. But in between runs, you could sit back and you could look over and see the working face. And there was this one hot dog that used to drive one of those big Euclid trucks up the ring road to get to the top. And I watched him go up there one time and his transmission cut loose. And he ran out of forward momentum, and then he started drifting backward. And he tried everything he could to get that turned. I mean, he was a couple hundred feet up, off the face floor.
Yeah.
Around the outside rim. So he managed to jump out.
Wow.
And the thing tumbled and bounced and fell all the way to the bottom of that face. That was a pretty scary time, but and I just happened to look up and see it. It was way across the yard. We have the loading tipple and the train tracks and all that in there in between us, and it just happened to be in between some of our work. So
wow.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Lucky guy, and he survived with no issue.
Yeah, no, he didn't get scratched. He was a young kid, and they gave him that truck to drive because he was a bit, like I said, a bit of a hot shot, and he did a good job. He was a real hustler, but when the transmission went out, if it had been somebody like me, I probably would have, by the time it dawned on me maybe I should get out of the truck, I'd have been on the ground 200 feet below where I started. But he tried. You could see him working it. He was trying to swing it, to, have it steer backwards and steer off to the uphill side, and he never could catch it. And it was just, fighting him all the way down. And so he just finally gave up. But so yeah, this is that. Anyway, so let me let you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, you
find these things, and it's just the severity of this is just incredible. With the steepness, and there's something about this as well that it bothers me a little bit. It's in the back of my mind a little bit, just going back to the surface, which was this one here too, same thing. You see those benches there, and yet this is almost like a scree face.
Yeah.
So you see you got your nice ramps are coming down there. That's fine. And that's that's a decent enough job. But this, I don't understand why that's.
It's because of just backfilling, you had material spill over those benches. That was actually, those benches existed on that wall. It's just that material spilled over as a result of mining activities.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now when I see planters on there, because those benches are very well defined, and here they're just sort of let go. And they're pretty even. Okay.
Yeah, it's just dumping. Yep.
How do you guys get your mapping like that stuff? How do you get this surface definition? Do you have somebody fly it?
Yeah, we have a flight dump for it.
Are you guys using drones nowadays, or are you
drones? Yeah, it's all drones. We have a company that does that for us.
Yeah, I've worked for those kind of folks in the aerial photography folks and the photogrammetry folks. I was just wondering how much it has switched over to drones now instead, because we used to have to fly it, with an airplane.
Oh wow, no, it's all drones. Even at the copper mine where I worked, we had someone actually that would fly on site with drone.
Yeah.
With the drone, just this phantom drone, this $800 drones. But they had some equipment attached to those drones thing.
Yeah, yeah, sensors and such, yeah. But,
Yeah, sensors.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like I said, back when I was looking at that last, the drones weren't around yet, other than, in the military, and they were multi-million-dollar drones that carried missiles. They weren't, they weren't what we've, come up to say. But anyway. All righty, let me let you get. I will wrap this up. I don't know. I don't think we solved anything.
No, thank you very much. I mean, I got the concept of just design, ramp design, which is just center line profile and all of that. Because I was struggling with just that concept alone, but I get it quite well. I think the class was very informative. It just reinforced some of the stuff that I
Yeah, there's things that, and like when you're in the middle of something, somebody's breathing down your back, you're trying to get something done and you just don't, oh gosh, where, it's not like you're sitting around with hours and hours and hours of idle time that you can try out all these commands and play with them.
yeah.
By the time you learn them, they've updated the software and they can't, like here, I can't find that tool, because that tool, wherever they've placed it, and I'm pretty sure it looks like from this, and I haven't had the mining module licenses in 7 or 8 years, so I can't run it and stay current. But that particular tool was a standalone tool, and it had something to do with, see, they had separate pit development tools, where it did those offset stuff, but it would design, the whole thing was only designed to, or only intended to design a ramp down, an access road down the walls of the pit. And you had to have a pit already designed, already defined.
Oh, okay.
And but it had some really neat little tools in it. And I don't see where it went. So,
but isn't that the same thing that the Surf PL that we just used does? Because it gives you that, and then because I've always used that, especially like when I design my wall, I would just use Surf PL, and that I use the Surf PL line, the intersecting line, as a guide, and I just do an offset on both sides.
yeah,
And I'm able to just to create the road as a result of that.
yeah. Yeah, but that's not the same tool though. That tool does that, and but it seeks a continuous grade down down another surface, and you can imagine, of course, has great applicability for road designs as it's doing it. But we would sometimes, like in this part of the country, we do a lot of natural gas drilling.
Yeah.
And so they put in a lot of well pads, and they have these huge fills. They're big pads out in the middle of these mountains in the woods, and they'll be, I don't know, 80 to 100 feet tall, of big fill slopes, where they've had to bring it out level, and they had to go down and catch the ground. Well, maybe that fill slope is sitting on a 3 or a 4 to 1, from the top down to where it hits the existing ground. Well, they got to drain that pad. They got to get it down, but they can't run it down that slope. It's too steep. It would cut, into that. So they got to figure out how to get that water down at a gentler slope. So instead of that 45% grade or whatever it is, they want to find the say a 5% grade or whatever, and start at the top, and it'll just walk down that slope. And when those slopes are nice and even without all of those in and out little juts, it just finds and draws this nice little corkscrew line that wraps itself around the outside edges of those fill banks. until it hits the ground where you're trying to go. And so now you know where to put the ditch. You just
Yeah.
follow the line, you know, and then you drop that line on the surface. Well, it's already created to be on the surface. You just drop it down however deep you want the line, the ditch to be. Offset it if you want it to be a certain width at the bottom. And then you climb out of that location into this new, or into the surface, which is that, you know, the face of that fill with design pad template. And you know, it's a really a great kind of tool, and it lets you get the water off there without eroding the bank. Now,
Yeah.
Autodesk, you know, we as civil engineers have always had a need to do that command. And we would always ask, because Civil 3D, AutoCAD's version, you know, they would ask them, like, you know, hey, is there a command? Can you create, you know, maybe you can add that as an enhancement, make a command that would find a slope down across a particular surface. And they would, in all of their haughty arrogance, would come back and say, well, we just don't see why anybody would ever want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and their answer to them is that, well, you're a programmer, we're engineers, have a need. So anyway, so let me let you get
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So there was one question, not pertaining to this, but just the mining class. You said reach out to Carson for the mining training as well.
Oh yeah,
I would like to do that as well.
Yeah, to them directly, and ask specifically for Grant Wenker, Wenker.
Okay, yeah, I have that down.
And there may be some new folks now, and maybe they'll be just as good. I don't know, because again, it's been a while. I'm sure I know Grant is still there, but he's like, you know, and he has been for many years the top guy in that division. So
okay.
But you know, there's so much specialized case in those mining activities, and the tools are just so well suited for that. But they're not well suited to do things like subdivision design using the mining software. You know, that's why you'd switch over to the civil. So yeah, try that out, and I'll let you
No problem, sir. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful weekend.
Well, you do the same thing, and I'll send you a link to this. We didn't get much done, but you know, if nothing else, you can just ignore it. But maybe if there's something you can catch from.
Most definitely, I would like to get the video of that, because you know, just setting up all of this, the basics of getting to this point. I would like to also just review that.
Yeah, but like I said, and when you asked me to stop it, and I started it back. So, and again, that third one, you know, I've got the first day, I've got today, and then this new one, just from this point on, you know, you'll be the only one that'll get that. And I'll cut off the little bit of where we started in on it on the end of the big second day, when I'll trim it off of there and stick it on to this one, so that you can have that for a reference. And you know, like I said, and it stays unlisted. Nobody else can see it unless they have that link that I send to them. So I'll send that one to you. If there's any value, there may not be, because we didn't come up with a solution. So
I think there's a lot of value to it.
yeah. All right. Well, good deals. Well,
thank you.
You bet. You take care, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll be in communication with things like your certificates and all of those links and such. So just hang out and get in touch with Carlson on the mining side, because I think there's a lot of value to be had there. Even though it doesn't benefit us us meaning the MSoft folks.
Yeah.
You know, because we're sort of shut out of that game, but there's a reason for that, and the folks that do it are just about the best in the world. So so I'd say, you know, get up with them and give it a try. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good weekend.
All right, sir. You take care now.
Okay, bye.